Good morning. This is your CDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Closing off debate on the mid-year budget review early on Tuesday morning, Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur defended government's economic record over the past year, insisting Trinidad and Tobago is on the rise despite criticism from the opposition.
I really have to speak to my Director of Budgets to find out if he could find enough money to give both the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Energy sufficient funding to buy a stronger door. Because investors across the world are knocking and beating down on the doors of Trinidad and Tobago. They want to invest in this country. They're breaking down the doors. They want to invest in Trinidad and Tobago, but those people on the other side, the most unpatriotic bunch of individuals I've ever seen in my life, Mr. Speaker, all they want to see is this country fail.
Minister Thakur also defended increased spending on wages and arrears.
Because we are spending, Mr. Speaker, this substantial amount of money to pay arrears and to pay increased salaries that they refuse to put in place. The members opposite. I want members of the national public to know that thank God they chose this government, because if they had chosen that government, increases in salaries, they would have never seen that. Wage settlement or wage negotiation, they would have never seen that.
The Finance Supplementation and Variation of Appropriation Financial Year 2026 bill was eventually passed in the lower house just after 12:30 a.m. on Tuesday, with 28 votes in favor, 11 against, and no abstentions. Tobago West MP Joel Sampson has expressed support for the allocation to the island, noting that it reflects the government's acknowledgement of Tobago's distinct role within the national framework. Speaking during debate on the mid-year budget review on Monday night, he said the additional funding will bring tangible benefits to Tobagonians, particularly teachers and students.
Mr. Speaker, the Tobago House of Assembly was in support of the budget and now is fully supporting the adjustment in Tobago's allocation by $94 million. Mr. Speaker, as we debate the work of the Minister of Finance in granting an additional $94 million to the Tobago House of Assembly in fiscal 2026, I join my colleague, member for Tobago East, in thanking the Finance Minister and the government, led by the Honourable Member from Siparia, for this added allocation. Yes. This government has kept its promise to Tobago about giving a fair share.
He added that under the UNC government and the Farley Augustine-led Tobago House of Assembly, the island is now seeing meaningful progress, with residents beginning to feel the impact of new policies and programs. However, he used the opportunity to criticize former representatives for Tobago, accusing them of neglecting the island while in office.
I realize all of a sudden they care about Tobago, they care about Tobago. You know when they're out of office, that is when they just care about Tobago? They were in office for 10 years. They had a THA administration, a PNM as well. But you know they had the playbook. Whatever they give to them, we could live with that. That is them, we could live with that. And then my predecessor, I hear she mouth big all of a sudden. I don't know where she come from. I bury she in a political grave long time.
In sport, Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee President Diane Henderson commended the efforts of Olympians Keyshawn Walcott and Jereme Richards, who both once again tasted success on the international stage. Richards won 400-meter bronze and 200-meter silver at the Diamond League, while Walcott claimed silver in the men's javelin final at the Motornet GP meet in Finland, as they both continue their path to qualification for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles.
The pathway and the effort continues. They obviously have a goal, a trajectory, they have a vision and they want to achieve that vision, and right now they're on the mission. So they are just working towards keeping themselves in target for LA 28. And that's what I can say. As long as they continue doing what they're doing, I think, we would be on good footing, hopefully.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Virmala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Virmala, good morning, my good friend.
Good morning, Carrie. I felt like you forgot my name there for a second. Are you tired?
Of course not. I had to put a little more emphasis on it, you know?
Okay, well, happy Wednesday officially, the middle of the week.
Yes, it is the middle of the week. However, it's a short week, so we actually over the middle piece.
Yeah, so that means tomorrow is kind of like our Friday.
Yeah. You know, we'll take it.
It's very confusing. It's really confusing. Also, it is a long weekend. It's Father's Day weekend.
That's right.
So today on the show, we're actually celebrating all the fathers and, of course, all the issues affecting men in Trinidad and Tobago and the world, especially things like mental health, Carrie.
Oh, yes, definitely. And, you know, we continue to speak about mental health and men's mental health in particular, because oftentimes men are told, you know, big men don't cry and, you know, like don't show emotions and you're not supposed to, men are not supposed to complain or feel any kind of way. However, we are human as well. And we need to understand that the same way women, children go through issues and they have a means by which to express it, men also need to be able to vent and to express as well in healthy ways so that they would not feel like their struggles are diminished, they would not feel like they are alone. And I think it's really important to underline that point.
Yeah, that's really profound, Carrie. Thank you for sharing that as we start the morning and a very special show. So happy Father's Day happy early Father's Day. And, you know, every day we should celebrate our parents, to all the fathers of TTT and, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. Also to your dad, happy Father's Day.
Wonderful.
All right, Carrie, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, looking forward to it.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks so much. All right, when we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this short break.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like, you know.
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you know, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success, because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Friday, 17th June 2026. The time now, it is 6:10 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning, starting with some breaking news. Kaya Seeley has been arrested and taken to the Aruca police station after arriving at the Piarco International Airport just this morning. Now, this is coming just under a month since a warrant was issued for her arrest. Her attorney, Fayola Sandy, provided an update on her client's status shortly after her arrival in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, the 24-year-old, who is wheelchair-bound, is facing multiple charges, including manslaughter, firearm offences, and also 3 counts of shooting with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. The charges arise out of the January police-involved shooting in St. Augustine, during which Seeley was injured and her boyfriend, Joshua Samaru, was killed. We'll have more as information comes to hand throughout the day on TTT Live Online. Well, moving on now, the emotional funeral service was held on Tuesday at the Erin Seventh-day Adventist Church. We're talking all about the death of 12-year-old Mercedes. Now, Mercedes went missing after boarding a taxi for what was supposed to be a short 5-minute drive home. And following a massive community search, her body was later discovered near an oil well. As the nation continues to mourn, Siparia Mayor Dudnath Meru says that he will seek the council's approval to have Mercedes's portrait painted on the Siparia Borough Corporation's Irwin Park Sporting Complex in her honor. Also speaking at her funeral, Member of Parliament for Labre and Minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, Clyde Elder, urged the public to please continue supporting Mercedes' family in the weeks and months ahead, noting that the loss of a child is not easy and continued care and support can really make a difference. Of course, our thoughts and prayers and condolences continue to go out to the family and, of course, the loved ones affected by the death of Mercedes. And also in the wake of a tragic death of a police officer in Sangre Grande on Tuesday, Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara is urging greater attention to the emotional well-being of those around us, reminding the public that police officers are not immune to life struggles. The commissioner says officers, like all citizens, can carry heavy and unseen burdens, and stress the importance of checking in on family members and friends and neighbors and colleagues who may be showing signs of distress. Guevara also noted that sudden changes in behavior, withdrawal, or expressions of emotional difficulty should never be ignored, adding that a simple conversation or offer of support could really make a life-saving difference. The TTPS says the incident serves as a sobering reminder that seeking help is a sign of strength and that no one should face personal challenges alone. Well, to some sport news now. Messi is now tied as the highest goal scorer in FIFA World Cup history. The Argentine captain scored a sensational hat-trick as reigning champions. Argentina opened their 2026 World Cup campaign with a 3-0 victory over Algeria on Tuesday. The 3 goals took Messi's World Cup tally to 16. Drawing him level with Germany's Miroslav Klose at the top of the all-time scoring charts. At 38 years old, Messi also became the first player ever to appear in 6 FIFA World Cups and the oldest player to score a World Cup hat-trick. The performance further cemented his place in football history as Argentina got their title defense off to the perfect start. And as we mentioned this morning when I spoke with Carrie, we're celebrating Father's Day this coming weekend. It's really worth taking a moment now to recognize just how important fathers and father figures are in our society. In a country where so many young people are searching for guidance, strong male role models can really help to shape the values, the character, the discipline, and the confidence. The lessons they teach often extend far beyond childhood and can influence the choices that young people make for the rest of their lives. Well, I'm especially grateful for my own father, who has always been a source of love and support and encouragement, and he really taught me the importance of hard work, integrity, and showing up for the people that you care about. Also to the fathers on my team who work tirelessly to create the best show possible. We love you And we appreciate you, and also to the dads of our team members who support us in so many ways. Happy Father's Day. That's my father on the screen right now. Happy Father's Day to you, Daddy. I can be a pain sometimes, but I'm very, very thankful for all the love and the sacrifices and the hard work and everything that you've taught me. And we say also a happy Father's Day to all the fathers, the grandfathers, the uncles, the mentors, the father figures, community leaders, all who continue to lead by example and help to build a future for our next generation. Well, you know what to do. Grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun.
Ready to brighten your space the right way? Don't settle for the ordinary. Step into brilliant. At Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited, we bring you over 20 years of experience in bulbs, specialty lighting, and hard-to-find lighting parts. Not sure what you need? Our knowledgeable team is ready to guide you, whether it's for your home, medical, commercial, marine, or business. We deliver quality you can trust at prices you love. Visit us today at 123 Western Main Road, St. James, or call us at 628-8373 or WhatsApp at 461-8620. Check us out on email at trinityetc@yahoo.com. Trinity Lighting Etc. Limited. We light up your life.
Being connected, it means a lot because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation. From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Coming up, hot plates, cold drinks, and chilled vibes were the order of the month in Antigua and Barbuda. Top chefs, tasty menus, influencers, and foodies. The boxes were ticked, kitchens buzzing, and grills fired up. It's the one and only Antigua and Barbuda Culinary Month. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
I'm Virmala Balkaran, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
We're celebrating the fathers of TTT this morning, and it's always so warming to see the pictures with the dads and their kids, and it's a very special morning, and we get to share this with you. Well, as Father's Day approaches, it's a timely opportunity to focus on an issue that doesn't always receive enough attention: men's health. Now, while many men spend their lives caring for their families, careers, and communities, they often neglect their own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So from stress, poor sleep, and chronic health conditions to mental health challenges and the importance of regular screenings, there are many factors that can really affect a man's quality of life. Yet, too often, men delay seeking help or ignore warning signs until problems become serious. Well, joining us this morning is Dr. Virmala Singh as we discuss the state of men's health, the barriers that prevent men from accessing care, the importance of prevention and early intervention, and how families and communities can better support the men in their lives. Good morning, Dr. Dayal Singh.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Well, there's no better way to start the morning than, with a conversation with you this morning. We've been talking a lot about men's health, men's mental health, but why is it important to look beyond physical illness and actually include now that mental and emotional well-being aspect as well?
Well, what we define health as is not just the physical well-being, but the emotional state, how you manage your mind, your thinking. Because what has been found is that, we looked at physical disorders like cardiovascular accidents, strokes, etc. But there's also a link to mental issues fueling those disorders. So, for instance, long ago, we saw cardiovascular links of a heart attack would have been high blood pressure, high cholesterol, your personality being a high, strong personality. Now we're looking at the fact that depression could also be a link to that. So there's the interplay between the mental state, your emotional state, to the physical aspects of what happens to you also.
Dr. Dayal Singh, a lot of men are taught to be providers and protectors, but not always how they can or if they can express vulnerability. So how does this affect their willingness now to seek help when they're struggling?
Well, the thing is that we have been programmed as a society where men will have the role of being the strong person, the person out there who cannot cry, the person there who cannot open up and talk about their problems. So men are human beings, and I always tell men, I see you have emotions, but we, from a small age, we are told, hey, man up, don't cry, you're a man, you're not supposed to be crying and showing emotion. And that has now left a sort of cultural imprint in us where when we get older, we don't see us as being able to get illness or being weak or fallible. We still see ourselves at that strong role. So one of it is cultural indoctrination, where we still feel we have to be the strength and behind the home and not show any sort of illness. The second thing is some men, when they are faced with problems, they go into what you call an ostrich mode. They put their heads into the sand. And a lot of wives complain that about their husbands. There's a problem, they want to discuss it. The man will go out in all sorts of distractions. He will try to go on a different beat. And therefore, the thing we try to say is don't go into that ostrich mode. You found you had a high blood pressure, let's go behind it. You found you had a PSA that's on borderline. PSA is a prostate-specific antigen blood test. Don't just say go into denial mode and think it will go away. So this is a mindset that we have to now push men forward to change that mindset, the mindset of weakness and the mindset of going into that mode where you think, hey, the problem will just go away. And part of it also is now putting persons around the man to push them and nudge the guys to do the proper things.
Now, what are some of the biggest mental health challenges that you're seeing affecting men today? And are there warning signs that families and friends should actually pay closer attention to?
Well, what's happening, what we've noticed, you remember, we saw that the women's rights and women's movement in the 1970s, 1980s pushed the advent of women's rights forward, and much needed. Women needed to get better jobs, needed to be treated equally, etc. But what we have noted now, there seems to be a sort of gender gap. And the gender gap occurs now in terms of suicide. More men are dying by suicide, and we need to know why. Because if you look at some of the figures in Trinidad, I think it was from 2020 to 2023, about 83% of the suicides were males. I think it dipped a bit later on, but the idea is why so many males are killing themselves comparing to females. So that gender gap we have to look at. If you also look at males, homicide. The majority of homicides, again, young males are dying by homicide, and also not only dying by suicide, homicide, but also being victims as well as perpetrators. So we are seeing that society where we now need to take cognizance. What can we do to help our males? What can we do now to make them feel wanted? And it goes deeper than just the idea that males are in that level where they may be more aggressive in terms of committing crime, or males may be, in a sense, not able to handle their emotional crises. So that's one thing. But then we're also looking at a factor where males feel that their roles have been changed, and to adjust is a problem. Adjusting to a new society where you may have to stay home and take care of the house while your wife has to go to work. So therefore, you find those adjustments are some things that affect males. And also, remember, a little boy will grow up to an adult. We have to now look what's happening to the little boys, because what we've been finding is that they are now fallen back in the educational system. So a little boy may grow up and find that, if you look at the professions now, women are getting into universities, women are passing exams, money. And it's not just Trinidad, it's widespread. If you look at in the States, you found that the women that are getting postgraduate degrees, it is totally reversed. They are the majority. And the failures now, 2/3 of the top achievers in the postgraduate programs would be females, while the lower 2/3, the failures, are males. So we're looking at a factor that affects boys going into men. So it's something that we really have to look at as a society. What could we do to kind of, bring back the guys into a position where they will feel comfortable to talk about the illness? They could reach out. They could realize they have problems. But it starts from education in school, as well as support systems elsewhere coming into play.
Now, a lot of stigma still surrounds the idea of therapy, especially in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean. You talk about that, and we've grown up with people saying, no, you don't need that, just go and take a sleep, you'll be fine. And we've grown up hearing that, and a lot of men are internalizing that now. So how do we help men see that asking for this type of help in therapy is actually a strength?
Yeah. You see, there's a twofold sort of stigma we have there, right? Two. One, the stigma of society. Oh, you're going to a mad person clinic. You know what the term mad person. So therefore, we tried in psychiatry to say, listen, let's change the names of our clinic. Instead of saying psychiatric outpatient clinic, we would say it's a stress clinic, or we would say it's a community mental health and wellness clinic. So even though we tried changing that name, you still find men are hesitant, because they will say, I'm going to that clinic and I'm seeing somebody with schizophrenia, somebody acting strange, I'm not going there. So there's the stigma of mental health, which we still have to break. And we can't break that because there are plenty of persons out there in top positions, sportsmen, doctors, everybody in different positions who are suffering from some sort of mental problems. And we are trying to let them come out and speak about their experience, to let men realize, hey, we can also come out. There's the other now sort of stigma where being a male and you're strong and you're not supposed to go for help, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to go and tell people your problem, you're supposed to bottle it in. That is another stigma we have, this societal stigma against mental illness, and the cultural stigma where I'm a male, I am not supposed to cry. But I tell males, you look at this FIFA matches, I will see big men crying when their team lose. And I say, well, okay, if you could cry there, come into therapy and cry. Let's express it. Bring out your emotions. You cannot bottle things inside. That comes like a kettle boiling. It's going to explode. And the fact shows that it is exploding from the rates that we are seeing for suicide and angry men out there not being able to handle their emotions and comes out as anger.
There's also, as you said, stress, there's anger, also poor sleep, and so many unhealthy coping mechanisms, so many other vices can all impact a man's health. So, Dr. Dayal Singh, what everyday habits can men really adopt now to improve their overall well-being?
Okay, so you're looking at, you see, there are different causes of emotional and mental illness. Sometimes an unemployed male is a problem. I'm unemployed. How am I going to feed my family? A guy who has relationship problems. My girlfriend broke up, the typical Tobanka sort of depression you can get. You have familial problems where you are your caregiver for your parents, you find you're fighting over land, etc. And even what you call comorbid illness. So I have diabetes, I start to internalize why I get sugar, and I now start to get depressed, I have to give insulin, I need it. So all these are factors that come into play. So we have to look at those factors, divide it out into different segments to tell persons, let's now deal with these factors. So it's I can be out there and have 5 different those factors swirling around: a toxic boss, unemployment, owing mortgage, things are difficult, a child who is given trouble. So all these factors, you have to segment it out and learn how to probably journal those problems. So you put it down, segment it, and now you have to seek help. Who am I going to speak to? So you try. So one aspect is get it out. You can talk to a church leader, a pundit. You can talk to friends, because a lot of men, they could, among their friends, they can sit down and chat and talk. So you have to have a way of expressing. And what I found too, a lot of guys, they have problems. And it's when they go by the barber saloon, they might now go and chat. When they go to the bar, they might talk to the bartender, which I'm not encouraging. But what I'm saying, men easier talk out in those scenarios than come to us. So we want you to talk, just talk. Second thing we want you to do is realize when you're going stressed, clear your mind at certain times, and exercise is very important. I say 20, 30 minutes exercise every day. Just tell yourself, this is my period for getting myself stronger mentally and physically to face the world. Because studies have shown if people have mild and moderate depression and they use a certain antidepressant tablet and they use exercise is just as good. So we have to push in that. And so reaching out for help, speaking, getting that exercise, eating the rainbow, eating a nutritional diet, and when you're eating the food, don't be thinking about your problem. Live in that moment. And then you now have to know, so what social means, what social things are affecting me. Therefore, if I have problems with a job, go to the Ministry of Labour, let them try to get a job. If I have problems with not getting money, go to Social and Family Services, get some sort of grant. There are things in place, but you have to go after it.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about the fathers specifically, Dr. Dayal Singh. And fatherhood often means that you're there for others. But what exactly does a healthy version of fatherhood looks like when it comes to taking care of yourself too? I know a lot of young fathers out there are watching this morning. What would you say to them?
Well, the thing is, fatherhood is a very important role. It's a privilege to be a father. And we have to understand that. And once you're a father, it's a privilege. You have a duty now to be like a model for that child, to give that child guidance and serve as a model by your action, your speech, etc. Because you're now given another generation. And we have to realize the importance of fathers, because an absent father, as you see, if you look at the prison population, the majority of persons there, the males there, they never grew up with a father. So the role of fatherhood is not important just for the family situation or for the community, but also for the nation. So so you have a very important role. So you have to take that seriously. And the thing I told people, sometimes you may be a young man growing up. When you have a child and you are able to provide for that child, you're able to nurture that child and see that child, the love you get from that child running and grabbing you, the love you get from trying to bring a little present for that child, that is one of the greatest feelings you can get as a human being. So it's a very, very, it puts you in a positive light. And because of that, you have to understand your role. It's a privilege. And you now have to know that as a father, yes, it is satisfying in that means, but it also means when now you have to change your lifestyle to be the model that you would want your child to be. Studies have shown, though, that even fathers who sit and eat together with their children, with the family, those kids are less inclined to go into smoking and drugs. So those are well documented studies we have. So you have an important role there, fathers, and you have to appreciate it. It's a beautiful role, and it feels good.
You know, a lot of times as partners or, wives, girlfriends, or again, partners in general, family and friends, we tend to see someone struggling, but they're not saying anything, or we might have a feeling that they're struggling. What would you say to them? How can we actually support the men in our lives who may be struggling, but they don't want to come out and actually see that?
Well, you have to look at those men, and the persons around them have to look, are they changing their personality? For instance, depression. People may think depression is just, you go into yourself, you keep quiet, you look withdrawn. But in men, depression could be different. Men, depression could come where you are now being aggressive, you're being violent towards other people. So depression in men could come out like that. Depression in men could be more risk-taking. So they're driving fast, they're going to, have unprotected sex with other people. So depression in men again comes where, while women may now go and reach out for help, they tend to isolate, they tend to be for themselves. So when you see a personality change, like you're sleeping either less or more, your appetite is cut, or you're overeating, when you see that, or you simply do not have an interest in something you were interested before. So let us say FIFA is going on, but a gentleman who followed it all the years ago, suddenly not interested in this, something is up with that gentleman. So you have to look at that sort of persona sometimes, where they just look down, they even speaking about, it was thanking people, it was, you are a good mother to me, or even giving away things. Those are danger signs that you would see. Now, the most difficult thing we have sometimes is to get somebody to seek help. Sometimes they refuse, they do not want to go on. I think this is a problem with caregivers, with their wives or their parents. This is also a problem as caregivers when you are now seeing somebody and you're trying to tell them you're depressed and they do not want to come for therapy. So this is something where you have to keep trying. Either you speak to a group of the male counterparts, you get a relative to come in, you go to a spiritual leader to let them talk to you, or you try to bring them just to talk. And you see, we try to get men to talk about their problems amongst other men, something called group therapy, who also have a similar problem. And they would see, look, this guy was down in the dumps and he had a solution. He was lost his job. He didn't know how to manage. He felt, in a sense that the world was crashing down, but he still was able to move forward. So there's always what I'm saying, examples you could try to tell them. And I always tell people the example of Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister in the UK during the World War II. He spent 2 weeks in bed, cannot come out because he was depressed, and he couldn't even go to Parliament. So he described depression as a big black dog sitting on him, that he can't even have the energy to move out and do things. So we have to show real life examples of people who were depressed and were able to come out, to get therapy, to seek help, and reach to the pinnacle of a success that could still be there waiting you around the corner.
Well, Dr. Dialsing, before I let you go, as we're celebrating Father's Day this weekend and father figures, what is one message that you want every man to hear about his health and his well-being?
Well, the thing is, I want men to know that your health is not just about blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, right? You have to look at mental and emotional well-being, and because that affects every aspect of the health, including sleep, relationships, work performance, and even physical illness. So research constantly shows that stress, depression, anxiety can contribute to chronic illness. So I try to tell men, listen, understand you may have comorbid conditions, you may have major challenges, and the challenges facing men are twofold. On one hand, we have chronic disease. On the other hand, we have social challenges, including educational underachievement, etc. Addressing men's health, therefore, requires more than just healthcare alone. It requires support for boys, stronger families, healthier communities, and a culture where men feel comfortable to seek help safely.
Thank you, Dr. Virmala Balkaran. Also, a happy Father's Day to you. Thank you for all that you do for men's health and for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the world.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. All right, that was Dr. Virmala Balkaran all about men's health and mental health and why we should continue to, just reach out and help the men in our lives who probably can't reach out to us to tell them that they actually need that help. 6:39, that's the time. We take a break. There's more ahead.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off, long drives, or house lives. We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories. It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are the Duncans. Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 10-20 feature is just what you need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
But if you don't know nothing, when you take it to a garage, then they will hit you at 6 for a 9.
You're asking, what if you just tell her father that you just like her curves? It is always good to tell the truth, but not every truth should be told. Is whatever you make, that's what you're gonna be eating today.
Yeah.
So you are in the kitchen and you realize that the pot is on fire. How do we explain with that? Why are you standing so far from the fire?
Father's Day is a time to celebrate the men who guide, support, and inspire the next generation. But for many young people, positive male role models can really make a difference far beyond a single day. Well, joining us this morning is educator, mentor, and founder of the Manly Man movement, Alvin Brown. With more than 15 years in education, he has dedicated his work to helping young men build confidence, character, leadership skills, and emotional intelligence through mentorship and personal development programs. Today, we'll talk a little bit about the challenges facing young men, the importance of positive male influence, and learn more about the upcoming Manly Man and Queenly boot camps. Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Morning.
Well, Father's Day is definitely a time where we're celebrating fathers and father figures. Not that we should not be celebrating them every single day. But why is the presence of a positive male role model so important in the lives of our young boys and men?
It's a great question. According to statistics out of Jamaica, and it's somewhat similar, 70% of teenage pregnancies come from fatherless homes. And not only that, but you have 90% of gang members come from fatherless homes, and 85% of youth in prison come from fatherless homes. So the issue is always a need for positive male role models.
Yeah. And you also founded the Manly Man movement in response to what you saw among young men. So tell us a little bit about that now, and what challenges are many of today's boys facing, particularly those growing up without that consistent male guidance?
I think the biggest thing is identity. It's always good to have, men need identity and they're going to find it somewhere. So what tends to happen is a lot of them have that identity in the gangs. A lot of them have that identity in general in the gangs. So if they don't see it, if they don't have a positive father figure, then they tend to find it somewhere else. So they're going to find it with the friends, and sometimes the friends aren't the smartest in the world. They're going to find it with the persons who they watch on television, and sometimes they're not the best influence. So the whole idea is to give them a positive identity, because they will find an identity.
Now, there's a phrase, positive masculinity. What does that mean?
I don't believe. You're trying to open up a can of worms in a good morning here, you know. I think that I'm going to use the term positive masculinity is where men take up the responsibilities that they currently have or they actually have. Usually when we use the word negative or what's the term?
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. It's when a man doesn't understand who he is. It's when a man doesn't understand his worth. And if a man, let me give you a story. So let us say that you have a young man who has a young lady and he views her as a possession. If he views her as a possession and he thinks that, if he views her as a possession, then he can't think of anyone else as having any other worth except as a possession. So he views them as less than who they actually are. And he's going to view himself as less than who he actually is, because if you view persons as a possession, you can't truly appreciate who you actually are. And if he believes that this person is a possession and his worth is related to his possessions, when she leaves or she tries to leave, then she's taken away from his worth. And therefore, he's going to find any way to keep her here, because you're going to take away from my worth. And then he may become violent. So the idea of toxic masculinity, as it is called, is a man not understanding his worth and therefore not behaving and moving in that accordingly.
Wow, thanks for that breakdown. I'm sorry about the worms that we opened, but it was definitely necessary to address that. Now, a major focus of your program is also emotional intelligence. So why is it important for boys and men and young men to learn how to understand and express their emotions in a healthy way? Very importantly, in a healthy way.
Because emotions are real. Somebody bad drives down the road, you get upset. It is a fact. And therefore, the question isn't if you're going to get angry or if you're going to be worried or concerned. The question is, how do you respond when you are angry, when you are worried, when you are concerned? Usually, when women get annoyed, they tend to do reputational destruction. When a man gets angry, he may become physical. And so the whole idea is, okay, now that you have become upset, how do you manage that emotion to ensure that you are behaving in a way that is good for not just yourself, but those around you?
Now, tell us a little bit about your work, especially with the Manly Man movement. How exactly do things go at the Manly Man movement? We saw some videos before we started, and quite interesting. They look like, you know what, we had a long day of learning. Yeah, we get it, sir. We really do. And it's a really good way to teach as well. So tell us, how do you run the Manly Man movement?
So the movement consists of many things. So we're talking about parenting seminars as well, and one of the things that you were just looking at was the boot camp. So what happens in the boot camp is we give them a number of skills. Generally, you have a lot of young men who don't know life skills like changing a car tire, like changing a basic plug, like managing their emotions, like cooking. Sometimes the parents may say, oh, you're the boy, so come, you don't need to be in the kitchen. No, you're eating food. You need to know how to cook the food.
Yeah.
Therefore, we give them skills, a range of skills that helps them to become better versions of themselves.
Okay. Now, we often hear concerns about gang recruitment and violence and negative influences targeting our young men. So how now can strong mentorship programs like these help to steer the boys toward more positive paths?
We have to first appreciate that the need or the focus of gang members is not just in Jamaica or in Trinidad, it's all over the world. What tends to happen is they come in and say, hey, how are you doing? And what they then do is they start to give them small gifts. And then they start to develop a relationship with them. So they develop trust. And after they develop trust, then they give them small things to do. And after the small things come larger things. So they have them start to rely on them. And the importance of a mentorship program is first, again, having the young men appreciate their identity and appreciate what their worth is. And also, if I'm getting that identity and that reassurance from a healthy option, so they're a lot less likely to shift towards going elsewhere.
Now, could you share with us this morning a success story from the Manly Man movement, something that has really stayed with you?
Well, there are a few. Not just so. One of the ones that stayed with me was there was a young man who was failing in school, and this particular one was when he was failing in school, and one of the things I do is I teach. So I started giving him work that was related to the schoolwork, but it was also more challenging and encouraging him. And when he was in second form, he started doing work for CXC type level work. So I was actually using past papers to push him further. And this was a young man who was always failing. The constant encouragement is parents sending me messages saying, hey, this is what my son cooked for me today. The constant encouragement is also parents saying, I've seen this change in his behavior. Recently, a mother sent me a video of her son changing her car tire.
Wow.
So I was like, well, it's working.
It definitely is, and you're seeing the results of that. Now, as we observe Father's Day and we're about to close, what message would you like to share with our fathers, our father figures? And I keep saying father figures because, a lot of men step up as well. And young men about the kind of legacy that they should strive to leave behind.
I would say that your presence is more important than you think it is. Oftentimes we say, all right, yeah, I pay for them, I give them this, I buy them this. No. The most important thing isn't presence, but your presence. There was a particular time when a predator was interviewed and they asked him, how do you choose your victims? And one of the things he said is you look to see if the father was a threat. You can't be a threat if you're not present. And so I don't think men truly appreciate the power of going to the football practice, spending time with the young men, talking to them about their schoolwork, helping them, encouraging them. You want them to play football? Have you taught them to play football? Not simply paying for the club, but have you spent time with them and not just doing things that you like, but things that they like. Start playing the games with them because Jeffrey Epstein was actually an avid gamer. So just because they're at home playing games doesn't mean that they're safe. So you need to be in their presence. Yeah.
And not leave that void as well. So when you leave that space, then it can become occupied by, as you say, unwanted presence, other presence, and again, unwanted, like, the gang violence and everything we've been talking about. The discussions we've been having recently in Trinidad and Tobago, in societies, how can we prevent things like crime and all of that before they get to that place? And it starts with this.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Brown, for being here with us. And the Manly Man movement, how can people get in touch with you?
363-0006. That's 363-0006. And we're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, the Manly Man series. And we're not leaving out the ladies because we realize that there are a number of ladies who have been asking, what about me? I want to change that character, etc. So we also now have a Queenly boot camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So it's the Manly Man movement. Check them out on socials. Also, their website is on the screen for you and their number as well. All right. It's time for us to take a short break. Carrie's up next with the major network news at the top of the hour. Inside the next hour, we have so much for you, including a link up with Talk City 91.1 FM. Camino is with us, and we continue talking all about men's health, men's mental health as we celebrate Father's Day, well, the upcoming Father's Day in Trinidad and Tobago. We hope you're having a wonderful day. Seems like the traffic isn't too bad this morning. Wherever you are going, please be safe on the nation's roads. And if you want to get in touch with us, send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you could be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today. We're coming back.
Celebrating 5 years this October, Tobago Carnival is calling. Tobago Carnival is calling. The Tobago House of Assembly presents The Awakening. Relive the launch of Tobago Carnival, Saturday, June 20th at 8:35 p.m. Watch on TTT and stream live on Facebook and YouTube. Experience the excitement, experience the energy, experience the culture. This is Tobago Carnival, The Awakening. Tobago Carnival, the launch, Saturday, June 20th, exclusively on TTT, the official national media partner for Tobago Carnival 2026.
Now I see the struggle through our pride, and I see the passion in our eyes. It's a culture that could never be replaced. No.
When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens, because your world can't wait. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. After the mid-year budget review was presented, political scientist Dr. Mokesh Basdeo pointed to positive economic forecasts, attributing them to ongoing developments in the energy sector. Dr. Basdeo noted that with an estimated 1.7 trillion cubic feet of natural gas potentially available for delivery to processing facilities in Trinidad and Tobago, the implications are significant, not only for the current fiscal year, but also for the periods ahead, offering optimism for sustained long-term economic growth.
Now, that's a significant increased projection. So although the budget is treated with regard to the fiscal year, the projection for the 2026-27 fiscal period, and even going further than the 27-28 fiscal period, that these announcements in the budget does augur well for the economy.
And how reduction in the fiscal deficit affects ordinary citizens, he highlighted the developments as encouraging.
We have to look at it in the context of what the international rating agencies have actually projected. Now, this is coming from the government has been in office for approximately 14 months. So these economic outlook and these figures that are presented augurs well for the economy.
With 4 months left before the end of the 2025-2026 fiscal year, Dr. Basdeo said citizens will be looking on to see if revenue figures are maintained for the projected period. In other news, President of the Joint Trade Union Movement, Ansel Roger, has indicated that significant announcements are expected to be unveiled during the Labor Day celebrations on Friday. Speaking to TTT News, Mr. Roger noted that the upcoming annual Labor Day observance will go beyond ceremony, hinting at policy directions and strategic moves that could impact workers and communities nationwide. He added that the union is already working on multiple levels to support national progress while safeguarding workers' interests.
And we call on workers to be no other place but on Charlie King Junction and in the march on June 19, Faizabad. Labor Day for us is not just another holiday. It is a very serious day where we do some reflection on the achievements of the past, how we got them, and how we project ourselves to protect them and to build on them in the future going forward.
The JTM president said the country stands on the brink of unprecedented development and stressed that organized labor is actively working to ensure equitable participation.
There's a whole message of hope as we look forward to the immediate future. This country is going to take off on a trajectory of serious development, enormous development, the likes of which perhaps it has never seen in the past. And we want the workers, the people, to position themselves, our members to position themselves to be beneficiaries of those developments. It cannot be that when this country develops and so on, economically, the people are left behind. And that is what we are busy behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, working hard to ensure we support the government in all of its initiatives to ensure that this country progresses and moves forward.
And Labor Day is observed on June 19th. In some sport now, France opened their 2026 FIFA World Cup campaign in style, defeating Senegal 3-1 at MetLife Stadium on Tuesday. After a tense first half, Kylian Mbappe broke the deadlock in the 66th minute before substitute Bradley Barcola doubled the lead late on. Senegal pulled one back through Ibrahim Mbaye in stoppage time, but Mbappe sealed the result moments later with a spectacular long-range strike. The victory gives France 3 points in Group 1 and saw Mbappe become France's leading all-scorer with 58 goals. And that's what's making the news at this time. After the break, Virmala is back with hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Whatever the skies bring, stay prepared with TTT Weather, Committed, accurate, relevant.
Your heart, brain, and body work hard every day. Give them the support they deserve with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on TTT Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45 a.m.
Rivalries, predictions, and bragging rights. Who are you backing? Who's already making excuses? And who do you think will lift the trophy? Join hosts Mariah Ramharak and Nasira Mohammed live on The Final VAR, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. as they discuss every controversy, every goal, and review every match from football's biggest stage, along with a panel of guests. The Final VAR, where the debate is as exciting as the game. Watch exclusively on TTT and stream on TTT Live online.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
long drives, or house lives.
We are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar. This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Coming up, hot plates, cold drinks, and chill vibes were the order of the month in Antigua and Barbuda. Top chefs, tasty menus, influencers, and foodies. The boxes were ticked, kitchens buzzing, and grills fired up. It's the one and only Antigua and Barbuda Culinary Month. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT.
Welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT, celebrating all the fathers of TTT as well. And also as we look forward to Father's Day this weekend, it's a very special show for you today. As we continue to do just that, well, we were joined earlier this week by a very special and talented spoken word artist. And he left something very, 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 very special for us and all the fathers. It's called Juggling, a Father's Day poem for you.
It starts off with one thing. A boy, after reaching the age where the parental pair has nothing left to spare, right then and there, he must start hunting. Tracing the pen to the deep end of the calendar from month end to month end. Scrums does become scrunting, becomes Mayday until payday comes in. That is the struggle in juggling as a youth man with brown skin. I swear, the way this thing weighing, it hard playing it by ear. I all for it, though I can't afford it. I ain't at all balling, but managed to gather all spheres at hand to orbit. Pause. All this, oh go, Miss Flawless, Tallest. I think I could keep you down or keep you up according to what you will call it. Wait, hon, the weight on relationship requires a little more lift, but where's a little strain on my poor wrist? This is a small list. Watch, a hands-on approach. Make sure that good morning message lands on her phone. The performance strong as cortisone becomes cornerstone. Be tough. yet enough to give them emotions, consent. Shucks, is it 30th? Tomorrow is month end. Now we juggling. Bills and emotions cut to ratio. Maybe I should have become a farmer and plant peas up Tobago. Each day ground in provision, trying to keep each one up like hot potato. Trying to keep the dirt off my hands, dread. So the market don't see me as another yam head. Every day I hustling, all these days what the man said. Getting paid in front of the fan and bills bleed me until I ain't the damn red. The difference between wants and need and want and need is living hand to mouth is still acknowledging that there's food in your hands, dread. Mortgage due, rent, phone, student loan. Insurance is a nuisance down to my last 2 cents blown. The life of the piss poor. What you piss on this stick for? You miss your period, miss? What you hand me this for? This is... Oh, life will see you drop them 3 wind balls named struggle that in your hand and will still tack back. Hand your atlas and tell you juggle that if you can. Cause life in. But even with this price hike, I think I like this highlighted hyphen. My wife and I sit, eyes fixed on the little hands of this little man. A calm amidst a tripped alarm. Is it fickle to whisk your hand or whistle and wish to make mist out of missiles? Does one juggle bills, school, salary, and a new man in the family here? Do you throw your hands in the air, breaks in, waiting on it to land? Or does one confess to the concept that man is one blessed with an extra hand, and a next one hand, and next one hand, and next to the next awaiting the next command that says, Daddy, don't drop the ball. It might seem like a start from scratch, but each scratch is hieroglyphic, instinctive tick that kicks in. It's like my father's father would pitch in. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Impossible is a mantra repeated by the childless. One look into my child's eyes and I side quest into business ideas nobody never try yet. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Don't let your son hear the sound of the downtrodden. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Anything that hits the ground running. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Wait, place your mouth on his runny nose. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Suck that cold straight up out of his nose. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Put an extra pair of wings on his share of things. Further, even farther. Good. Daddy, don't drop the ball. Anybody who don't understand has never seen or heard of fatherhood. Wear a hat proudly. Now take it off and pull a rabbit with ease out of that. Even with mistakes, make trapeze out of traps. Because you are the holder of an office that offspring often approach. Coughing, hungry lion, coughing or broke. Imagine the fortune of those who have a dad like you in a world where fathers are often a ghost. You keep all this afloat when others would lay flat out. And the trick that brings the house down is how you, my friend, you keep up that house. Thank you.
Continuing the show this morning, we're joined now by Brandon Jobity, our Trinidad and Tobago model, digital content creator, and lifestyle personality who recently ventured into entrepreneurship with the launch of Hisana Beauty Spa and co-owned with his partner, content creator Thalia Brizan. The luxury wellness and grooming space offers services including manicures, pedicures, massages, and waxing in a private high-end setting. Well, the name Hisana is inspired by the phrase his and her, reflecting the couple's vision of creating a welcoming self-care destination for both men and women. They're here with us this morning. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
I must say I am a big fan of your social media content. It's always very fun. I feel like you're always in trouble. And that's totally okay. I'm with her on that because sometimes you do silly things. Yeah. Now, we're talking about Father's Day and, the fact that it's often about celebrating the sacrifices that men make for their families, but not always about caring for themselves. So I believe with all that you've been doing, you can answer this for me. Why is it important for men, particularly the fathers, to prioritize self-care?
I mean, why not? I feel like, men are always the tail end of that side of the industry, And when we went into Hisana, that was like one of our main focus points, which is why, when we designed the spa, it's not just pink or baby blue. Correct. So, and me growing up looking at my dad and seeing how hard he worked all the time and never took care of himself. Yeah, I could tell you definitely men need to start taking more care of themselves.
Yeah, and like the fact that men think self-care is just like a woman thing. Yeah, like it's not. It's really not. So that's why the idea behind Hisana was more his and her directed.
Yeah, you know, a lot of men are still very reluctant, as you said about your dad, but most of our father figures, and they're very reluctant to actually invest time and money. And they would say, well, I don't know, I'll just buy something for the children instead, or I could pay a bill with that money.
Lie down home and do
something.
Why
I need to go for a pedicure? You know, why do you think that mindset still exists?
I don't know. It's a good question. And what's funny though is when men come in for the first time, they usually repeat.
Yeah, they leave saying, wait,
I had to come back, boy. This is like I didn't know it was so important. And again, that's just from upbringing and like long time beliefs and so on. And you know, we feel like men just shouldn't, but indeed we should.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's way more rewarding than we think.
Now, you were just making a good point. You know, when men hear or people hear the term self-care, you think that's a female thing. Do you think that perception has changed? And what does self-care actually look like for men today?
I don't think it changed to me. It's not weird for a man to take care of himself because my dad always does it. So that's all I've seen. So the fact that men don't do it is like, is that normal or is taking care of yourself normal? So it's like, I don't know.
It's still so weird because like the guy that came in the other day and he saw another gentleman around the same age, you know, mid 50s or whatever, doing his nails, and he was like, men doing their nails now, boy.
Seeing some of that on the screen right now.
What's it come to? And I'm like,
your toes.
So, you make that obvious. But yeah, you know, so, and he was surprised. He was surprised.
Why did she have to point out the fact that
Sorry, I just saw it and I was like,
you're both the same on screen and off screen. Now, from your experience, what are some of the areas of personal care and wellness or health that men tend to neglect, but they really shouldn't?
I mean, what areas they don't? I think most men, once their hair cut, they're cool. You understand? But no, like I said, they need to take care of that. They need to lean into and aside from just the beauties of it, but like the fitness side, the wellness side, you know, which is why we're going to have cool things like Pilates and all these different things that, again, things that I encourage men to just try, bro.
It's not just go to work, go home, sleep,
and
repeat.
Sleep. No. And the,
scratch your belly. And
the families, like the children and the moms and the aunts and so on, encourage your men to go out and actually get these things
because
done.
men are dealing with a lot, you know, work and responsibilities. You can speak from a male perspective, financial pressures and all of that. You know, but when you neglect self-care, that can have a serious impact on your mental health and your general well-being. And from a male perspective, what do you think about that?
See, funny enough, even with you saying that to me, it still doesn't register. It's honestly, it still doesn't register as a man. Like, you go do your nails, you get a massage, like, what's the big deal? But I know for me, after especially meeting Talia some years ago, I started taking care of myself more because of her. I can definitely tell you, the midweek, when you go to do a massage in the middle of the week on a Wednesday or at the end of the week,
a different feeling.
It just makes you feel like, all right, I could go
See
on next
what we
2-3
feel
months.
like now?
But
so it's
that feeling should be shared with men for sure.
Absolutely.
But for a lot of men, again, it goes back to prioritizing. So, you know, if I have some time to do something, maybe I have to pick up the kids, maybe I have to cut the grass, maybe I have to do something else or go pay a bill, or I don't know, take my wife to the supermarket. They always find something else to do, but not take care of themselves. Like, you understand one end of the spectrum with your dad prioritizing himself. You understand another end of it. So I think we've grown up seeing, you know, different dads and how they do things differently. So for men who may hesitate now to book a massage, a grooming appointment, or a wellness treatment, what do they typically tell you after they've taken that first step?
Wait, boy. Coming back, boy. How to come back? I swear that is all that they say. After every appointment, they'll say, how to come back? Literally. Literally, that's all they say.
Why it took so long to do this.
It's just,
I'll come back. Do they actually come back, or do they just say like...
They do. And they tend to bring their wives.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Now, how could partners and children and families really encourage the men in our lives to take better care of themselves without making them feel, you know, guilty or uncomfortable?
Do it for them. And that's big. We noticed that men, and this is just not about his sauna, this is about spa industry and beauty industry in general. Men will not call for themselves, they won't go for themselves, they won't book for themselves.
Because that's how it has been.
So, it's the wife that would call, the daughter that would call, hey, my dad need to take her 2 minutes, but
That's right. Yeah.
And that's how a lot of men, at least the older men, get introduced to it. And that's the best way.
Yeah, that resonates with me. I feel like I make all the appointments for my dad as well.
Yeah.
So on this Father's Day, what's your message to fathers and father figures who spend so much time looking at everyone else but often put themselves last?
My dad used to say this thing a long time on a Sunday. He used to say, take a 5. Go and take a 5. You have school tomorrow. Go and take a 5. Right? So that's how I see it, man.
Take a 5.
Take a 5.
I love that.
Take a 5. Take a 5.
That's one for this Father's Day.
Yeah,
take a 5.
And what does self-care mean to you personally? I know you've been talking about the fact that she changed your life. Thank you. What does self-care mean to you personally, and how has it benefited your own mental and emotional well-being?
So like I say, again, so recently, within the last year or so, I've been working nonstop. And which is I'm thankful for having that opportunity to do that. But again, those breaks of just taking care of yourself, the massage is most important for me, seeing that I exercise and so on. Really takes me on and keeps me going over and over and over. Again, it's the midweek refreshers that I look forward to for sure. So that's what it means to me at this point.
All right, so the information is on the screen. That's Hasana Spa. Give us a little details about the spa.
As in the services?
As in the spa, the services, where it is, how can we book?
So we do manis, pedis, waxing and massages, soon to include facials and brow lamination and lashes and all those fancy stuff. You could call the number on the screen, you could message us on Instagram, and you can make an appointment through those platforms. Or you could go on the sites, the link is in our bio.
Yeah, and where is it?
On Instagram.
No, where is the spa?
Oh. It's in Tacarigua, number 5 Eastern Main Road.
All right. So, wow, there's the toes again.
Yeah, nice.
Love those toes.
But again, this is not just about Hisana. This is about wherever you are on the island. If you're down south, if you're wherever, if there's a spa nearby and there's a dad that you have that you love, an uncle that you know that loves, if he's a mechanic and his hands need taken care of, if he's a professional and his hands always on a desk, always shaking another hand, always closing a deal, call us back.
Yeah, not just your hands, but massages, your well-being in general. Taking time to do something for yourself will help. It helps us as females, so why should it not help men? Well, thank you very much, Talia and Brandon, for joining us today. We'll see you soon. I know you're a regular now here at the show. So now Talia has to go one up, to even out the score. Thank you, and that's Hasana Spa. So again, the information is on the screen if you want to get in touch with them. The time now 7:22. If you're wondering what the weather is going to be like today, we have you covered. Zena James.
I'm Zena James with your weather update. For Wednesday, we start off on the sunnier side, but with moisture still present, we can expect variably cloudy skies with late morning into afternoon showers and a low chance for thunderstorms across both islands. With more sunshine expected, temperatures will climb to around 33 degrees in Trinidad and 31 degrees in Tobago. Across the seas, conditions will remain slight in sheltered areas and moderate in open waters, with caution advised as gusty winds could create choppy conditions at times and spring tides could exaggerate nearshore conditions.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Unleash your imagination with TTT's terrific Toon Time. Join us as we stop evil geniuses from taking over the world from Super Z, or hop on board for a journey into outer space with Galaxy Kids. Be a part of our quest to save the forests alongside our robot pals from Bugs Bot Ignition, or let's go exploring with Duda and Dada. Catch terrific Toon Time weekdays at 4:15 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. It's fun-filled adventure with terrific Toon Time right here on TTT.
About that time now to check in with our sister station Talk City 91.1 FM to see how things are going on their shift. This is the Link Up.
It's unfiltered, y'all.
Unmatched.
Unscripted.
You're dressed for talk. This is the Link Up. This is the Link Up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
All right, let's see what's happening on Talk City. Good morning, Andy and Lennox.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good morning to you as well, Virmala.
I'm so happy to see you both. You know, Andy, I saw Lennox was here yesterday. I don't know if he was forthcoming with that information. He was actually spending some time here with me yesterday. And I said, before he left, I said, Andy's going to be very upset that he missed out. you know, and I will take comfort in the fact that you were upset that you missed out.
Well, I want to say that we have a very cordial and a very well-informed relationship, so that he would have been aware that I am going to visit you. What his personal emotions might have been at that point in time, I cannot say.
Well, we can hear from him now.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes.
Oh boy, the mic.
I am bracing for this.
Nice.
Yeah. Virmala can't wait, Andy. You're taking too long.
All right. Well, this morning my co-host wanted to discuss. He said the budget this morning, man. He said the budget, which is the supplementary budget. But I told him that it's just a supplementary budget. To me, the rest of Trinidad and Tobago really not interested, because we ain't hearing about minimum wage or drop in food prices or gas prices or, old age pension raise, nothing. We just hearing extra money to pay debts.
Yeah, and in normal economic and commercial activities, certainly if you don't pay your debts, people become very angry. Well, in the case of the government, as my response has been that you avoid industrial strife, you settle people's concerned, they become emotionally stable, and so they are prepared and look forward to going to work. Of course, in this case, you're talking about government employees, and it is in that regard that the money should be seen as very appropriate at this point in time, because you don't want a situation where people go on strike or you have, of course, a social upheaval, and of course, it can go in ways and in places that may have been unintended, and it is so the tranquility of the country is very critical, even though you may not see a benefit for other segments of the society as yet.
But Lennox Smith, when the people will actually start to feel a budget? I mean, yes, it's a year that the Honorable Prime Minister and the UNC government is in power, but from when the people go actually start to see, because people balling, things hard. So when will the people actually feel a budget? From when they can expect?
Well, of course, is a typical economic philosophy or rule, supply and demand. And in this case, of course, it's a question of whether you have sufficient funds in order to meet all of the demands of the society. And if money is always short by definition, it means therefore you have to have priorities. And it's unfortunate that some people may have to wait a little longer. And I am saying, and that could be reflected in the amount of employment. If you get a 3% employment, I think is a little above that right now. But if you achieve that, and I think we can achieve it by the second quarter. In other words, next year, by the first six months.
Just telling people
by the end of the 6 months,
by 2027,
the
middle of
6 months,
2027, when the Manatee Field goes in progress, the Dragon Gas goes in progress.
You know the answer, but why you always challenging me so?
Well, gentlemen,
Virmala, you know the guy. Talk to him now.
Listen, Andy, Lennox told me to talk to you. But gentlemen, the minister says that relief is coming. There's so much to clean up and there's so much to do, and we continue to follow everything that's happening. I just want to tell you, happy Father's Day. If you are fathers, this morning we are having a very special Father's Day show. It's coming up this weekend, so I'm not too sure if you are fathers, but I'm sure you've impacted many lives as well in that way, and we want to say happy Father's Day.
It's so good that you all actually acknowledging fathers in Trinidad and Tobago, because, for Mother's Day, I will see tents with teddy bears and balloons and all kind of thing. And, Father's Day come in, I ain't see no tent, me see no balloons. Well, like fathers isn't, like Mom doesn't want to buy nothing.
Well, it has to start somewhere. It definitely has to start somewhere. We've been having a lot of...
I started with you.
And we started today, and it's Wednesday. So that means maybe you'll see some teddy bear tents happening. Listen, Andy, I'm going to get you a teddy bear. You know the cups? You know the little ones with the teddy bear in it? I'm going to get you one of those. I'm going to get you a teddy bear. Well, I will put up an entire teddy bear tent for you. Gentlemen, have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. And as I said, happy Father's Day. And we're very grateful for your presence.
Thank you very much. Yes, indeed.
All right, have a good day.
We are both fathers, yes, and we impact others as fathers as well.
Yes, well, we appreciate you. Have a good day, gentlemen. All right, that was the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
It's unfiltered, y'all.
Unmatched.
Unscripted.
You're dressed for talk. This is the link up. This is the link up with Talk City 91.1 FM.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
celebrating 5 years this October. Tobago Carnival is calling. Tobago Carnival is calling. The Tobago House of Assembly presents The Awakening. Relive the launch of Tobago Carnival, Saturday, June 20th at 8:35 p.m. Watch on TTT and stream live on Facebook and YouTube. Experience the excitement, experience the energy, experience the culture. This is Tobago Carnival, The Awakening. Tobago Carnival, the launch, Saturday, June 20th, exclusively on TTT, the official national media partner for Tobago Carnival 2026.
Now I see the struggle through our pride, and I see the passion in our eyes. It's a culture that could never be replaced. No.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel. Listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
Hey, up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just what we need. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Wednesdays, we are joined by the Camino Realty International team as we focus on a wide range of real estate topics to educate, support, and empower prospective homeowners throughout the property purchasing process. Good morning and welcome back to the Managing Director, Rachel Ramlal. Hi, Rachel.
Hello. Good morning.
So we've been having many conversations about, again, the property purchasing process. But another important part of real estate is the partnership.
Yes.
So partnerships that Camino may have with other companies that make this process possible. So I know this morning we want to talk specifically about a bank loan show. So let's learn about that.
Yes. So one of our many partners is JMMB Bank. And what we would like to let you guys know this morning is that we are actually having a mortgage show at Camino Realty's compound on Marval Road, Port of Spain, on Friday, 26th June from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we would have loans officers on site. You guys can get pre-qualified one time if you need information on loans, whether it's mortgage to purchase property, vehicle, or personal loans. You are invited. The public is welcomed. You'll also get to meet the Camino Realty agents because, of course, we'll have our properties being marketed on spot there as well. So even if you're looking for a rental or sale or land purchase, again, the public is welcomed to come to the event. There is also supposed to be a car dealer, if I remember correctly. So you can get your one-stop shop. You can get pre-qualified. You can look at vehicles. You could find out about property purchase. And like I said, there will be loans officers on the spot pre-qualifying people.
Yeah, I saw as well that there'll be no collateral required for unsecured loans. So, yeah, that's really interesting. And this is happening on Thursday, 26th. That's next week, right?
Friday, I believe. Friday is the 26th. Is it Friday?
One of those days. So we'll see it on the screen
Friday
again.
for sure. Friday.
All right, so that's happening. And also, you can get that information on their social media channels.
Yes.
So what else are we doing now for Father's Day?
Good. So remember we launched our Support Local campaign. Oh, by the way, the winner for Angry Coffee voucher. Yes, we pulled the winner last week. Her name was Lindsay Singh. She's very grateful. It was her first time going to Angry Coffee, so very exciting. She got like a variety of items, you know. So now that the Angry Coffee promotion is over, of course, we're going to launch another one. And this time we are partnering with two businesses. One which is called the Service Terminal, which is an auto repair facility located in St. Augustine. So you'll see they have a Father's Day special. So you get 20% off your steam and engine wash. And then there's a free check that they're going to do for you as well. So in addition to that voucher or coupon, we are also partnering with a local coffee shop that goes by the name of Cuppa TT. So just like our last promotion, the instructions are very simple. You just like the post, you follow the social media pages, and at the end of June, we're going to pick another winner.
The information is on the screen for you now, and you can also find it on their Instagram. And participate. You never know, you can be like Lindsay and you can win something really special from Cuppa.
Yes, and again, if there are any small businesses, you know, that would like to partner with us for the Support Local campaign, you are welcome to reach out to us as well. Yes.
Rachel, as we are celebrating Father's Day this weekend, a very special happy Father's Day to all the fathers at Camino Realty. Anyone you want to send greetings to as well on your side?
You know, since I started the morning show, there's a group of professionals that I hang out with every morning for coffee, and they have been harassing me. They're like, you don't say hi to us, you don't give us a shout out, you don't acknowledge us, and we keep you company, you know, to make sure you're okay and you're ready and you're prepped for the morning show. So I would like to say good morning to my coffee group. You know, we meet at Rituals every morning at 6:30 for coffee. That is our morning ritual. And they are all fathers.
Indeed.
Yes.
Well, happy Father's Day to them.
Yes.
And again, to the Camino Realty team. Thank you for being here with us every Wednesday. So everything that's happening, that JMMB loan event, and also the Father's Day special, the Service Terminal, and also you can win in that Support Local with Cuppa. Again, the information is on their Instagram page. And the winner will be announced on social media, so you have to be there to know if you won. Here's the information for that banking event, that loan event with JMMB. That's taking place next Thursday. And you can head on down there and take advantage of everything that you're seeing on the screen as well. Don't forget that Support Local campaign on the screen and the Father's Day special with the Service Terminal. A 40-point vehicle check, absolutely free. See, Rachel?
Yes.
That is something we can all benefit from. That.
Agreed.
All right. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Camino, for all the stories that you see here and more. Follow us at TTT Live online. If you have a story, idea, press release, you want to collaborate with us, we'd love to hear from you. Simply send us an email at tttoday@ttt.co.tt and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Trinidad and Tobago Today. News you can trust and stories that matter. We take a break and we come back to wrap the show on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Attention viewers in Trinidad and Tobago. The Truth of God now airs on the TTT network every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. You won't want to miss the dynamic preaching and teaching of Pastor Jennings as he speaks from God's Holy Bible.
Believe what God says.
The Truth of God, every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on Trinidad and Tobago Television. You can also watch The Truth of God 24/7 at thetog.tv.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
I am your mother,
aunt, grandmother,
guardian, friend, and I promise to protect you in all situations because someone has hurt you, violated you, harmed you, abused you, and you were brave enough to tell me. You trusted me. You came to me for help, to defend, for support, to protect you. No amount of money or bribes, favors, or gifts will stop me. You are most important to me. You are worth more to me than any material thing. I will do all in my power, in my heart, to make sure that you are taken care of and that justice is served and you thrive. Together, my daughter,
my son,
my child, we will live and love. I will protect you.
Break the silence. Report all cases of child sexual abuse.
Are inviting the public to an afternoon of music, fellowship, and celebration as the parish presents the Jazz It Up for Fathers 3. Well, the event takes place on Saturday, 20th June at the beautiful La Soledad Estate in Maraca, St. Joseph, and will feature an exciting mix of voice strings, pan, and brass in tribute to fathers and to father figures. Joining us this morning, committee member Roland Riley and one of Trinidad and Tobago's most accomplished entertainers, singers, broadcaster, and a cultural ambassador, the beautiful Charmaine Ford. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Pretty good, thank you.
You
Thank
look
for having
absolutely lovely.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. So we're talking about Jazz It Up for Fathers 3.
Yes.
Right? But before we get to that, let's take a quick minute to head to Charmaine now. Now, I know that you're going to have a little performance for us at the end of this. Now, for those who may not be familiar with the name, and I don't know who that can possibly be this morning, but you've enjoyed a really, really, really vast career. It spanned music and media in general. A lot you've been doing. So when you look back on that journey now, what accomplishment are you most proud of and why?
Well, I should say working with the younger people of Trinidad and Tobago, younger musicians, because my entire band, you could call them my grandchildren. That's how young they are. So accomplishing that, working together with them and bringing out their talent, showing their talent, that's a good thing for me in my career.
Well, your talent is going to be shining at Jazz It Up for Fathers 3. So let's hear about this event before we get to that performance.
So this is an event, this is the third installment of Jazz It Up for Fathers, and the third installment. And this year promises to be a lot better. And last year we have Charmaine as the headline act. We also have Aveline Harris and some of her friends, Joshua Regrello, Zian Rodolfo, Mr. Strings, and a host of other artists. Yeah.
All right. And if anyone wants to come to that, how can they do that?
So tickets are available at Cache, Port of Spain, as well as Eastgate and Westmore. We also have tickets available at our the parish church as well as Extra Foods, in Aranguez, Grand Bazaar, as well as Arima.
Yeah, so lots of jazz we can expect. What else can we expect in terms of the music and entertainment?
Brass, pan, of course, some singing and strings as well. Yeah.
All right, Charmaine,
I like that, some singing.
what are you looking forward to most for Jazz It Up?
Working with this committee, a group of people that are so friendly and welcoming, you know, so it's kind of like a big lime.
Yeah.
And the audience are always participating in all the songs. They sing along, they come out, they dance, and they, you know, and I'm doing a wide range of different genres of songs. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I understand that you are closing the show for us today on our very special Father's Day show on Trinidad and Tobago today. Thank you very much. If Father's Day greetings are, applicable to you, well, we're extending that to you as well. Also, to all the fathers of Trinidad and Tobago today, thank you for all the work that you do for us and always taking care of us. And also to my dad, happy Father's Day. We're going to end now with a beautiful Charmaine, who's going to give us something special. What are you performing for us this morning?
I'm doing a jazz song by Diana Shore. She is a blind singer, blind from birth, and very international.
All right.
So kind of old school, but it's very jazzy.
All right. Well, this one is for all the fathers locked on this morning. Happy Father's Day to you. See you tomorrow where we do this all over again, 6 to 8 on Trinidad and Tobago today. Charmaine?
See you guys on Saturday. Temperature is rising from the heat. I feel desire burning in the street. Ooh, I'm missing you. You said you love me.
in my bones while I'm sitting here in my room all alone. Oh, I'm missing you. You said you love me forever. I wish I was kissing you. And we could be together on Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Lord, you got to help me make it through. I can't wait to sing my favorite song on this Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Lord, you've got to help me make it through. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. I hear the tap, tap, tap of your footsteps. I hear the rap, rap, rap on my door. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. My baby's at my door, not a minute too soon. I love my baby. I love my baby through and through. Louisiana Sunday afternoon. Louisiana, Louisiana, Sunday afternoon.
TTT weather with Zaina James, daily at 7 p.m.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
I'm Renee Sion with another edition of Caribbean Week in Review.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. Eulogized by her sister as one of a kind, 12-year-old student Mercedes Lane was remembered for her vibrant happiness and infectious sense of humor during a funeral on Tuesday. Speaking to a grieving congregation, her sister, Sharika Lane, acknowledged the heavy wave of emotion surrounding the loss, but urged those mourning to focus on the light Mercedes brought into the world.
There is anger, there is heartbreak, there is disbelief, because no child should ever have to endure what Mercedes endured. No parent should have to bury their child. No sibling should have to stand before a congregation and speak about a life that ended far too soon. Yet, even in the face of such darkness, we refuse to allow the tragedy of her death to overshadow the beauty of her life.
The emotional service also drew a call to action. Member of Parliament for Labre, Clyde Elder, addressed the community, pleading for sustained long-term support for the grieving family and a renewed commitment to protecting children.
But I want to admonish all of us that after Mercedes is laid to rest, as she will be today, that we do not leave this family alone. That this care that we have for this family must not be for a fleeting moment. And not just for this family, but for every single child in our community today.
12-year-old Mercedes Lane was tragically murdered in June 2026 after entering a PH taxi, with a post-mortem confirming she died from severe blunt force trauma. And switching gears now. As Father's Day approaches, renewed attention is being placed on the well-being of men and their role within society. Psychiatrist Dr. Virmala Singh says long-standing social expectations continue to shape male behavior, noting that many men feel pressured to project strength at all times. According to Dr. Diyal Singh, this conditioning often discourages openness about personal struggles and reinforces the idea that men should not show vulnerability.
So this is a mindset that we have to now push men forward to change that mindset, the mindset of weakness and the mindset of going into that mode where you think, hey, the problem will just go away. And part of it also is now putting persons around the man to push them and nudge the guys to do the proper things.
Dr. Diyal Singh added that many men struggle to accept their own vulnerability, as social conditioning often makes it difficult for them to acknowledge that they too are human. He stressed that this mindset can prevent men from seeking the support they need, underscoring the importance of encouraging men to reach out for help and speak openly about their challenges.
There's the other now sort of stigma where being a male and you're strong and you're not supposed to go for help, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to go and tell people your problem, you're supposed to bottle it in. That is another stigma we have, this societal stigma against mental illness and the cultural stigma where I'm a male, I am not supposed to cry. But I tell males, you look at this FIFA matches, I will see big men crying when their team lose. And I say, well, okay, if you could cry there, come into therapy and cry. Let's express it.
Dr. Diyal Singh also described fatherhood as both a privilege and a source of joy, noting that fathers play a critical role as role models within families and society. However, he stressed that men must also feel empowered to speak openly about their mental health, seek support when needed, and avoid suffering in silence. On to sport now. Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee President Diane Henderson commended the efforts of Olympians Keyshawn Walcott and Jareem Richards, who both tasted success on the international stage. Richards won 400-meter bronze and 200-meter silver at the Diamond League, while Walcott claimed silver in the men's javelin final at the Motornet GP meet in Finland, as they both continue their paths to qualification for the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles.
The pathway and the effort continues. They obviously have a goal, a trajectory, they have a vision and they want to achieve that vision, and right now they're on the mission. So they are just working towards keeping themselves in target for LA 28. And that's what I can say. As long as they continue doing what they're doing, I think, we would be on good footing, hopefully.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here, have a great day.
This is TTT. Live for local.